Hey everyone, been a long time since I made a video, and my cousin Mark sent me 18 packs of 1989 Pro Set, actually a long time ago, and I'm just now getting around to opening these things. So 89 Pro Set, there were two, outside of Topps, there were two sort of new sets in the late 80s in terms of football. There was Pro Set and Score. Score was the more valuable set. And Pro Set, I mean, these were really cool, but we didn't know back then, but they were massively overproducing these. So just for example, the big rookie in 89 was Barry Sanders. In Score, the Barry Sanders rookie is about $40. In this Pro Set, the 89 Sanders is about $5. So that's about a 1/8 value, and that's consistent across all the different rookies. They're about an eighth as valuable in the Pro Set. Actually, the couple most valuable cards are all error cards, or variations that were made by mistake by Pro Set. There's a Jim McMahon traded card, which is about $40. But that's, extremely rare. That's the reason why it's $40. But yeah, the card you're looking for in terms of just like the regular base set, non-errors, is the Barry Sanders. That's about $5. But there were a ton of good rookies in 89. Tim Brown, Thurman Thomas, obviously Barry Sanders, Troy Aikman, guys like that, Sterling Sharp, bunch of Hall of Famers and other big stars. So it's a fun year to open these cards in, and we'll just jump right into these now and see what we can find. And the kind of interesting thing is you can see the front and the back card of all of these, and there's no big rookies in terms of what you can see. So we're kind of hoping that these middle cards will have some of these rookies. All right, so we got Mike Pagel. I'm going to start a little Browns pile over here, since those mid to late 80s teams, I remember those really well. They were always competing, not really for Super Bowls, but these were teams that were getting into the playoffs with Bernie, James Jefferson, Carl Banks, John L. Williams, decent back in the day, and Keith Millard. So it looks like there's going to be 5 cards per. And let's see, here's Hanford Dixon, cornerback, along with Frank Minifield. Kind of got the dog pound started in Cleveland. Jim Lachey. Here's Bo Jackson. That's a nice card. Put that in its own separate special pile there. Trace Armstrong and Ron Morris. Another Brown, Brian Washington. Safety. Not a huge name back then. Actually listed as a prospect here, so he was just coming in as the Browns started to cool off a bit, but put him in the Browns pile. Is Gerald Riggs, Daryl Talley, Stump Mitchell, great name, and Sam Clancy. Here's Eric Metcalf, as you'll see on the front of here. So we're actually getting the nice sort of core of the Browns team here. Metcalf here was at Texas. This is a draft pick card. But he'd end up in the Browns and would be a really good punt returner, kick returner in the early 90s. Jill Walton, Garen Veris, Anthony Bell, and Michael Walter. And here's Bernie, the head honcho. So we're really kind of filling out the whole Browns roster here. J.T. Smith, Jerry Burns, Andre Rison, who eventually would do some time on the Browns, and his girlfriend was in TLC and in a marital dispute burned down his house, so that's kind of what he's known for. I'll throw him in the Browns pile. And Tony Casillas, and here's Bud Carson, coach of the Browns. This was after Schottenheimer left, so now we got the coach, and there's Ozzie Newsome, Hall of Famer. Great tight end back in the day. Vinny Testaverde, eventual Browns quarterback among many dozens. Derek Burrows and Jerry Gray. And there's Brian Brennan. A lot of the lead cards here are Browns for whatever reason. So Brian Brennan, decent receiver for a couple years. Thomas Everett, Bart Oates, Tom Ricketts, another draft pick card, and Chris Dolman. Yeah, another Brown, Mike Oliphant. Again, not a very big name, but Brown nonetheless. Dalton Hilliard, Mike Merriweather, Clay Matthews, a great linebacker for a long time for the Browns, and Reggie McElroy. Here's Ozzie in front of this pack. Wonder if this was a sort of Cleveland-centric set. It's just a ton of Browns in here. There's Mike Oliphant, again, Tim McGee, Freeman McNeil, and Doug Smith. There's Frank Minifield, again, along with Hanford Dixon. Those guys kind of got the dog pound started up. And right next to him, very fitting, another Hanford Dixon. Kyle Clifton, Danny Stubbs, prospect, and Mike Kofer. Cody Risen, another Brown. Jim McMahon, real big with the 85 Bears, led them to a Super Bowl. Yeah, so this is the Jim McMahon card that is not there. So this is maybe like a 20-cent card. The variation version has it traded here. And again, we're probably not going to see that. Not many of those out there. Jerome Brown and Sam Mills. There's, as you'll see, Ernest Biner. And there's Ditka on the back. So Ernest Biner, who you may remember from the fumble. Darrell Green, Bill Pickle, Perry Williams, and Mike Ditka's Hall of Fame card. So still looking for Barry Sanders, Troy Aikman, Thurman Thomas, Tim Brown. There's Clay Matthews, again, Mike Singletary. It's great. He's a Hall of Famer for the Bears. Keith Byers, Reuben Hayes, and Frank Stamms. Got Gerald McNeil on the front. Yeah, there's just too many of these with Browns on the front. This must have been some... And what it says on the pack is Totino's Party Pizza. So maybe these were, I don't know, maybe they were given away in a Cleveland area. James Hasty, Jonathan Hayes, prospect card, John Frank, and Alan Pinkett. Another Brown on the front, Reggie Langhorne. Brian Blados, James Wilder, Ken Hull, and Kevin Green. There is a Barry Krause, who I don't even remember as a linebacker. He goes back to actually played for Indianapolis up until this card, until '89. There's Roger Vick, Andre Tippett, Gary Reasons, and John Taylor. 2 more packs to go. So there's Webster Slaughter, really great wide receiver for a couple years. Yeah, he was, I guess at this point, his high in yards was 806 receiving yards, maybe 7 touchdowns that year, but he had a pretty good run with the Browns. John Taylor, Barry Krause again, Reggie Langhorne again, and Marty Lyons. All right, so last pack, looking for any of those rookies. If he looks right, the Browns, don't remember him very much. Hey, there's Deion Sanders. So that's a card, you know, this would have been maybe a $10 card or so $8 to $10-ish. In the score set, in this set, this is maybe like a $1 card. Still a good one. I'll put that there with Bo Jackson, Kent Rookers, Chris Miller, and finally Rob Riddick. So, say the best card, probably that Deion Sanders card. The Bo Jackson, you know, that might be a 50-cent dollar card. But both cool cards. But you did get, you know, enough Browns to almost field better part of a full team. I mean, you don't have any linemen in there, but you got just about every other skill position player in there. So thanks to my cousin Mark, that was a really fun rip. It's been a while since I've opened anything at all. I haven't been buying stuff recently, but well, we'll see if that changes as the baseball season is getting into swing. So maybe look forward to something else in the future.